Hey everyone, Professor Baldwin here, and today we're asked to solve an equation. This equation is a quadratic, and it comes from the section where we need to solve using the quadratic formula. And we're also asked to write our complex solutions in standard form. Remember that standard form is a plus bi, where you have a real number and imaginary number together. Now, how do we use the quadratic? First step is to identify your a, b, and c values. Remember that a quadratic always follows the format ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 when it's in its standard form. And that's the form we need it in to use the quadratic. So here our a value is 2, our b is 3, and our c is 4. Then recall that quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2 times a. Now we just substitute in the values for a, b, and c. That gives us negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times 4 over 2 times 2. Now we start simplifying. Negative 3 plus or minus, that radicand becomes 9 minus 32, and our denominator is 4. Now we need to simplify that radicand a little bit more. We have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 23. Well, that's going to be an imaginary number, right? So the imaginary number, we take the square root of a negative 1. So we'll keep this negative 3 plus or minus. The square root of negative 1 is I. So we can pull that I out, and we're left with the square root of 23. And that's over 4. You might want to leave it like this, but then it's not correct. Remember, we need to have our complex solution in standard form. A plus bi. So we need to pull apart the real number component and the imaginary component. So remember, you really have two fractions here. You have the negative 3 over 4 plus or minus that imaginary component, I times the square root of 23 over 4. And this is the true final answer because it's in standard form for a complex number a plus bi.